Huh, I haven't done one of these videos on a non-Universes Beyond set in ages. Anyway, make of that what you will, but it's time to talk about Lorwyn. Lorwyn Eclipsed has a lot of hurdles to jump through that probably made it all bitch to design at times, having to take a plane like Lorwyn and its mechanics, a lot of which are semi-retired, like -1/-1 counters and kindred spells, and make it fit into one set after so long of people asking for a return to the plane, and I think they did a great job being confined to one set. I don't have a connection to Lorwyn, so I had no real expectations, either way, negative or positive going in, but I think they did a great job in capturing an older vibe of Magic while being faithful to the original plane and pushing and tweaking certain mechanics from Lorwyn to keep things fresh. It just shows to me that thinking WotC or the design team or whatever has ditched Magic's lore and only cares about Universes Beyond is just an incorrect mindset to have. So much love is put in here, and the great trailer and story just prove that further to me. They put love and care into both Universes Beyond and Universes Within, and you can tell that they really enjoy doing both. With all that being said, let's talk about my favorite cards in the set. As usual, this is covering only the main set. The Commander decks will not count for this. Also, this is mostly in the context of Commander, since that's the only format I play. Some of these cards could be shittily designed for Standard or Modern or Draft or whatever, but that won't determine my opinion. Also, there's no order. This isn't a top 10, this isn't a top 12 or whatever. This is just cards that I like from Lorwyn Eclipsed in no particular order. With that being said, let's get started. Time for the cards that I really like but only have a sentence or two to say about. Glister Bairn is wearing an adorable raccoon hat. I don't care what it does. This could be a 0/1 vanilla and I'd love it. I'd say I'd love it even if it was a 0/0, but then it would die the second it comes out, and that makes me sad. Even then, it giving a creature +2/+2 for your combat at minimum is perfectly fine, if not a little overcosted. Tam, Mindful First Year is a really cool form of protection to me. Not tons to say, I just love me a Strixhaven shoutout, and I think the card's neat. Prideful Feastling. Look at this motherfucker's face. Look at how stupid and derpy it is. I love it, look at this fucking face. Shimmerwild's growth is a really cute way to help out a set whose main gimmick is having as many colors among permanents you control, while also getting you some alright ramp. I think Wild Growth is already underrated, so I'm gonna like this too. Love me some typo cards, and Gathering Stone is a great card for it. It being 1 mana more with some added bonuses over Herald's Horn is a great way to make it so one doesn't instantly replace the other. I love when they make a new version of an old card, but with its own upsides and downsides to balance them out with each other. Elemental Spectacle has fucking great art, it looks so cool to me. And the card's not the best, but it's still pretty good. 6 mana for 3 5/5s in 3 color decks isn't that bad, and if you can get 5 of them out in a 5 color deck, it's pretty alright. I'll admit this is mostly me loving the art. Keyroll Attentive First Year is just really cool. There's just not much to say about the card, it's obviously cool. Also love me some non-binary representation. Okay, so now on to the list proper. This having lifelink is already a win for me since it's my favorite evergreen keyword, and I love its visual design a lot. Just this massive creature that's hard to describe and has a bit of a cosmic horror kind of vibe. It giving all of your creatures convoke is also just really cool to me. Usually decks stick to either big guys or a bunch of small guys, and this one is a commander that can mix both together, which I really appreciate. The other side's also really cool, giving all of our stuff persist, which not only is just good on its own for aristocrat strategies, but it also works with the blight mechanic in this set, and some of the -1/-1 counter payoffs, while also letting you run proliferate stuff to enhance the blight stuff, or maybe even move some of the counters around. It's just a well-designed card that has a lot of directions to take it, which I always appreciate in card design, especially for commanders.
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
I like the idea of a transforming planeswalker that flips back and forth. Its first effect isn't that amazing, since if you're going to be playing a typal deck, odds are most creatures are going to be that type anyways, but it could come up. Its second effect is whatever, I guess it could come up, but I feel like it's only okay. As for the other side, Love me some self-mill, especially ones that mill and then add to your hand so it triggers descend like triggers, and gets you the card back. The second effect is a decent board presence, and I feel the ultimate is actually a well-designed case of being powerful but not absurd or anything, and being fairly costed. I'm not normally the biggest Planeswalker guy since there's usually not many great ones in Commander, but I really like this card. Morkant is pretty great. It's nice getting more of a newish sub-theme to elves with -1/-1 counters, and its last effect to proliferate obviously leads to a lot of different directions and a lot of different uses. I feel this allows for an elf deck that's more focused on counters rather than just spitting out 1,000 elves and elf balling all over your opponents to kill them easily. So yeah, if you want a new elf commander, I 100% recommend Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. I'm biased a bit because I fucking love Strixhaven, but I really like Abigail. Its ETB can be used in so many different ways, giving you a versatile option for both giving a massive creature with drawbacks keywords and getting rid of the downsides, while also taking care of some problem cards your opponent has, and also giving you a political option for giving another player 3 great counters on one of their creatures to help the table out. It fits the Silver Quill's political theme the Precon had, and it even works on creatures with no abilities if you want to put it on an Inkling token, and it also helps out in Lorwyn itself with multiple creatures you want to put those counters on that are just big guys with ETBs. It's a great card, and I'm happy to have some Strixhaven characters in the set that I love this much. Okay, maybe I should put some kind of restriction on copy effects from being in these. I'm pretty sure every one of these videos has had a copy effect in it. Anyway, Mirror Form's another copier, but it permanently making every non-land permanent you have into any permanent on the battlefield is just too fun for me not to put it on here. You can make a massive board of tokens you control into lands or mana rocks or insane ramp. You could turn your entire board into massive creatures to hit face with. You could turn them all into busted ass enchantments or artifacts. There's just so many applications for this, and I think it's just really fun. 6 mana is a bit high, but I think it's overall worth it. But yeah, I gotta put some kind of restriction on these. Maybe move them to honorable mentions at most in the future. I guess they just can't help but make cool ones in every single set recently. Admittedly, if this didn't have Convoke, I would not like it as much, but since it does, I think it's really cool. Tapping all your little zombie tokens or vampire tokens in order to bring back all of your combo pieces or finishers is great. When I first read this, I misread it and thought it let every player bring back all of their creatures of a type that they chose, and even misreading it like that, and knowing the Typal decks are arguably the most common decks to face in Commander pods, I still thought this card was cool. I don't know if I'll put it in every Typal deck with black that I have, but it's going in at least a few of them, and it's going to become a semi-staple in Typal decks for me. Please be cheap, I'm begging you, please be cheap. Please don't be an expensive card, like I'm fucking begging you, please. Dawnhand Dissident is a great early game blocker that lets you surveil each turn, which is always nice, even if it puts -1/-1 counters on stuff you have out to do so. I wouldn't be into its second effect as much if it was just your graveyard, especially since it can't blight itself for it since it would die, but you can do it on your opponent's stuff and even use it to get rid of problem cards from your opponent's graveyard. It's not good in every graveyard deck since you have to remove counters to use that effect, but it's useful often enough to be fine to me. I love cheating shit in, so of course I'm going to like this card. I feel 7 mana is a big enough cost to make it not broken or absurd or anything, while also giving you a payoff that feels like it's worth 7 mana. Even if it's just itself, sometimes 7 mana for playing the top permanent of your library is good enough. Putting this in any 5-color deck can get really absurd really fast, especially since it's on enters and not on cast, so you can blink it and revive it to use its ability. I can see an argument that it just adds to the 5-color good stuff pile, but I like it enough to be able to look past that and think of it as just a pretty cool card. Tristan is a great card from my Gitrog deck, so I instantly love it. It getting you a 1-mana mill 2 with incidental life gain or life loss that's repeatable each of your turns is really fun and really crazy to me, while also making for an alright 4 toughness defender with Death Touch. I would add this to almost any Golgari self-mill deck. There's not a ton to say about this card, I just like mill, and I like any card that's going to be good in my Gitrog monster deck. Mirrormind Crown is so fucking cool, guys, and I'm genuinely surprised they haven't made a card like this before now. Being able to turn lame tokens into copies of any creature you equip to it is insane, and its equip cost is actually pretty cheap, all things considered. Even copying a legendary you control to get death triggers is perfectly fine. It doesn't even have to be creature tokens, it works with treasure and clues and blood and maps and so on. It's just a really cool, really well designed card that I think is going to be a ton of fun to mess around with. If you look like this, DM me right fucking now, please. 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 I love commanders that combine two seemingly unrelated creature types, so I think this card is really fucking cool. I get some people hate steal effects like this, but I think this is specific enough with needing a very specific number of fairies or elves and only being once per turn casting wise. Even if I don't make the deck because my playgroup hates this kind of thing, I still really like this card and think it's going to be a really fun commander to make. Before we get to my favorite card in the set, I want to give a shout out to the fantastic work on the art of the elementals in this set. I saw some people fear that they would tone them down a bit for a modern take on Lorwyn, but I'm happy to see that they didn't. They're creative, they're ugly, they're weird, they're cute, and just so oddly put together and so creatively designed with how much variance there is to how they're built. It's one of the things that I feel helps Lorwyn stand out from other planes. Its odd take on elementals being weird combinations and misinformed or mutated looking entities that the artists here have captured perfectly, in my opinion. They're just so cool and well designed. So shout out to the art department and art team in general for making these cards so fucking cool. Lorwyn, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a great card from my Gitrog deck, so I instantly love it. The mill 4 on enter that also stacks your fucking deck for next turn or for another mill is crazy. And the second effect that's just Worm Harvest can fill your board insanely fast, especially in Gitrog where we'll be cheating in fuckloads of lands and having a bunch in our graveyard. I love this card so much. I know I said this list wasn't in any particular order, but this is 1000% my favorite fucking card in the set, on a first run through of the set at least. If the question is, would I still love Eccentric Farmer if it was a Worm Harvest? The answer is yes. Fuck yes. With all the negativity around Magic lately with the Universes Beyond and Secret Layers and all that, feeling like they take away from Magic's core identity to a lot of people, I feel like Lorwyn Eclipsed does a great job overall of capturing an old Magic vibe and showing that they do care about the lore and the world of in-universe Magic just as much, if not more, probably more, than they do Universes Beyond. It's not that there's no passion in in-universe sets anymore. That passion is still there, that love is still there, and they're still really well designed. And I think just implying that WotC doesn't care about in-universe Magic anymore is just incorrect, and I'm thankful we're still getting great in-universe sets that really show that they do have love and care for this game, and that they're putting just as much effort that they always have. And those are my favorite cards in Lorwyn Eclipsed. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like being able to talk about my favorite cards in every set, so I think I am going to continue doing this or whatever. The next EDH guide was supposed to come out before this, but I realized that Lorwyn Eclipsed was coming out, and this video needed to come out around the time Lorwyn Eclipsed came out, and I just put the EDH guide on the back burner to work on this first. I do have multiple videos in production. I'm sorry that this year's been a little slow so far. I really want to do more Master Duel content in between bigger projects that are more edited as kind of filler, I guess you could say. But I do have an EDH guide being worked on right now. I do have another video like the Red Eyes Black Dragon one that I had earlier. And I do have a third video being worked on, which is my favorite card in every Magic set that released from when I started playing until now. That's probably going to be a nightmare, but we'll get to that bridge when we come to it. I have social media in the description, basically a blue sky. And I also have a Let's Play channel. That's also linked in the description. I also have a Ko-fi and a Throne. I'll try to remember to link those in the description in case you're feeling generous. But I'll see you guys in the next video.